afternoon, and thanks for joining us once again, and we welcome you to Walter Sheddings at Oldham for today's Stones Bitter League clash, where Oldham entertain the Saints. Saints hoping to get back in winning ways after last week's disaster at Nosey Road. Well, it must be said that Saints were completely outplayed by a far better Hull side. They ran hard, they tackled hard, and Saints couldn't combat them. Anyway, Saints are out on the pitch. I'll just run through the team for you now. Number 1, Tanner. 2, Carrington. 3, O'Connor. 4, Loughlin. 5, Quirk. 6, Cooper. 7, Bluer. 8, Burke. 9, Groves. 10, Evans. 11, Dwyer. 12, Fieldhouse. 13, Vartin. Substitutes for today, number 14, Haggerty, and 15, Farber. Just waiting for the Oldham outfit to come out now. Second week in succession, Saints have played bottom of the table opposition. Oldham now in 14th position in the league with just 3 points to the credit from 7 games. They've won 1, drawn 1, lost 5, 135 points for, 174 points against. As I said, 3 points in total in 14th position. Saints played 7, won 4, drawn 1, lost 2. As the Oldham outfit come out now, and the Saints have 131 points for and 133 points against. They have 9 points, they're in 3rd position in the Stones Bitter League. Got a much depleted Oldham side this afternoon. Their team is at number 1, Paul Round, ex-Saints, second row forward, having a new lease of life in the full-back role. And number 2, Richard Irving. Number 3, John Henderson, recently signed from Lee. Number 4, another ex-Saint, Kevin Meadows. Number 5, Tom Nadioli. Number 6, Mick Burke, ex-Widnes international full-back, where he's at standoff today. Number 7, Chris O'Sullivan. Number 8, Ian Sherratt. 9, Andy Ruane. 10, Mick Bardsley. 11, Colin Harkyard. 12, Ashley Gilbert. 13, Terry Flanagan, the captain, with 14, Steve Robinson, and 15, Leo Casey. Today's referee, Mr. Simpson. Nosey Road today, Saints ground's being used for the Lancashire Cup final between Wigan and Salford. So didn't look too promising at St Helens on our way, so let's hope they don't churn it up too much. But anyway, there we are, centre field now with Terry Flanagan, Oldham captain, just shaking hands with the match officials. Shane Cooper, Saints captain. The Oldham mascot for today, just ready for the toss of the coin. Saints last week at Nosey Road, playing much of the game up centre field, when we've got plenty of pace in the backs with new signings Michael O'Connor and Mike Carrington, also with Paul Loughlin and Les Quirk, but much of the game played up centre field and not giving the backs much chance, and Saints certainly paid the price. Saints about to receive, Oldham to kick off. Mick Burke playing at standoff today. Noticeable absentee, Phil Beavers at full-back. He is carrying a groin strain, but he's not been chosen for today's match. Oldham kick off. Les Quirk held in his own 25. Oldham will move up very quickly. Saints playing it blindside. Tony Burke back in Saints ranks. Saints bring it blindside again. Stuart Evans driving upfield. Heavy tackling from the Oldham outfit going in there. There was a tackle on Tony Burke. The last tackle was rather ferocious, but it's number 8, Ian Sherratt, being brought out, being spoken to by the referee, going in with a thump in the tackle. It's Paul Loughlin kicking over towards our outlandish position here, just on the one side of the Oldham ground. Only the video outfit on this side of the Oldham pitch. Stuart Evans driving upfield. Paul Groves wants a quick play of the ball. Oldham lying on him, but Evans plays the ball. Groves into Burke, comes blindside, drives upfield. Tony Burke, strong running forward. Paul Groves now takes it to Darren Blue. Saints spread it right. Shane Cooper onto Bernard Dwyer. The gap was there, but Terry Flanagan, a good tackle from this Oldham captain, brings him down. Saints bring it left. Shane Cooper, Paul Barton, quick ball to Michael O'Connor, but it goes down. Oldham capitalise on it. It's Richard Irving comes up with it. Oldham in possession. First touch of the ball now. Ian Sherratt, prop forward. Stuart Evans being brought out there by referee. Sherratt coming through and Evans going in to tackle him, but being adjudged to have used an elbow in the tackle. So Saints being penalised. Oldham fine touch on the Saints 25. It's the hooker Andy Ruane, ex-Widnes and Rochdale hooker, I believe he is. Mick Bardsley driving upfield now for Oldham. Andy Ruane attacked in half-back, onto Sherratt. Looks a big lad, this Sherratt, driving forward, but good three-man Saints tackle there. Tony Burke, Bernard Dwyer in at the tackle. Number 12 there, Ashley Gilbert. Moving up to the Saints line. But it's Oldham now. Play the ball, wingman Richard Irving coming in field. Paul Barton gets him round the legs. Two other Saints complete the tackle. Oldham now, long ball. Out to full-back Paul Round. They pass it on, yes. I think it's number 3, John Henderson, going in for a try there. Quick play the ball from Oldham. They swung it to the left. Paul Round linking up, and just 3 minutes gone. And John Henderson goes in for the opening score. I think it was Henderson looming over there. I just not quite sure whether we get. Yes, it was John Henderson playing in the left centre position as the ball was going over there. He is on the team sheet at the right centre, but he was over there on the left-hand side. And as Oldham moved it very quickly over to the left, Paul Round, as I said, linking up, and the ball went over. Henderson latched on the end of it and went in for a try. After just 3 minutes, so Mick Burke, 10 yards in and on the 25. Just see if we can add the points on. No, takes it to the left of the post. So Oldham with a 4-0 lead after just 3 minutes. Saints will have to tighten up again. As I said before, Phil Beavers, so Saints ever present in the side so far this season, but he's dropped for today's match. Saints, David Tanner there, he's coming at full back, and Paul Loughlin kicks off, bounces in field, evades Richard Irving's clutches there, goes dead. So Saints back with the pressure on, hopefully. Oldham have to drop out from between their own sticks. Mick Burke there, centre field. David Tanner takes it right on the halfway line, drives upfield, going over to the right now. Flanagan comes in, misses the initial tackle, but Andy Ruane moves in very quickly. Darren Blewer, Saints moving to the right. Paul Barton on the burst, Saints taking it to the right again. Tony Burke, moving strongly, Burke, tremendous forward from a standing start, just penetrates the Oldham 25. Blewer, Luke movement with Cooper. No, Cooper turns it inside to Evans. Right on the Oldham 25 now. There's Blewer with Cooper. Blewer takes it inside to Barton. Oldham tattlers, very good. Holding out, Ian Sherratt there. It's the last tattle of this set of 6. Blewer with an up and under, chasing his kick. Well, it's all on, I think. Offside there, that Oldham man. Well, it came off an Oldham man that came forward to Flanagan, I think it was, who dropped on it. Surely an offside decision, but the referee right on the job. Saints penalised again. Stuart Evans, I think, being adjudged to go in with an elbow at the tackle. So the pressure taken off Oldham just for the minute. They found touch just outside their own 25. It's Andy Ruane to start. Sherratt, I think that is. Big lad, this prop forward, Sherratt. But he's brought down. Bernard Dwyer in at the tackle with John Fieldhouse. Well, solid tackling there. Evans and Dwyer. Tremendous tackle there. That Oldham man, number 10, Mick Bardsley, laid back in his tracks off that tackle off Bernard Dwyer. Gets through a tremendous amount of tackling in a game. So Flanagan attacks in half-back. Oldham moving it right. The ball for the kick upfield, I think, from number 7, Chris O'Sullivan. Les Quirk takes it comfortably. David Tanner comes infield, but Les Quirk takes the tackle. Mick Burke up there, but it's John Henderson that completes the tackle. Tanner from acting half-back position, going on his own. Flanagan brings him down with Colin Hawkyard. It's Paul Groves at the acting half-back position, brings it blindside. Tony Burke. Brought down right on the halfway line. Blindside again, Stuart Evans, but solid tackling there from Flanagan and Hawkyard again. So it's going to spread it to the right this time. Shane Cooper, little kick through, well, tripped in his efforts to get the ball, but one of the Oldham men runs into the referee, gathers the ball safely. No penalty awarded, but it's Richard Irving going infield, looking for some action. The right winger, but he's gone infield. On to Terry Flanagan now. Just 8 minutes of the game gone, and the score still 4 points to nil in Oldham's favour. Fieldhouse there with tremendous tackle. The ball knocked out of the Oldham man's hands. Chris O'Sullivan, scrum half for Oldham, gathers the ball, taken down by Michael O'Connor. Mick Bardsley now, driving upfield. Fieldhouse and Dwyer, second row combination. Last tackle, rule for Oldham. Kevin Meadows kicks for touch, but it goes directly into touch. The scrum is going to be formed from where the ball was. Oh no, it was the last tackle, I beg your pardon. It was the last tackle of the set of 6, so a change overruled. Paul Barton. Groves attacked in half-back onto Evans. Well, Saints just getting a little bundle there. Just lacking in idea. Should be spreading this ball to the right, I feel. Bluer onto Tony Burke. Burke turning around in the tackle, looking to release, but solid tackling from Oldham. Groves taking it right, onto Bernard Dwyer, straightens up, drives upfield. Saints moving it left. Cooper creating the gap, short ball there, but knocked back by the Oldham man. The idea was right from Shane Cooper, short ball going through, but Oldham knocked it down. Shane Cooper completes the tackle with John Fieldhouse. And it's Ruane taking it left. Colin Hawkyard driving upfield. Good run of this Hawkyard. Takes it left to O'Sullivan. Loose ball. Bluer picks it up. Heads it out to Mike Carrington, but the ball's still loose. I think Saints are still in possession. Michael O'Connor did well there. Carrington had the ball. It got knocked out of his hands. O'Connor covered up very well there in the right centre position. Bluer onto Shane Cooper. Take him on, Cooper, looking for the gaps, but Oldham defence holding out very firm. Morton, short ball to Fieldhouse, into space, overlap on the right, Loughlin with Quirk, inside. Oh, unlucky there. Was an awkward ball from Paul Loughlin to Les Quirk. But Loughlin created the gap there, lovely short ball, John Fieldhouse there, I think it was. Passed the ball onto Paul Loughlin. Les Quirk went inside, but he couldn't gather a return pass. Was an awkward ball to Les Quirk. Oldham defence was coming in, but scrum down now, just 10 yards from the Oldham line. Chris O'Sullivan to feed. Obviously the scrum not on the correct blade of grass for referee Simpson, but Bluer being ruled offside there. Well, the ball came out to the Oldham side. He was very slow, O'Sullivan, to gather that ball. Bluer was round like a flash, but he's been penalised. So the pressure being taken off Oldham as they're awarded a penalty. Just gains about 15 yards with that kick. Finds touch on the Oldham 25. Ruane to play the ball. Misses out Flanagan, feeds it on to Sherratt. Solid forward, driving in, straight runner. Fieldhouse takes him down. So confusing now in the Saints ranks with John Fieldhouse, Paul Groves, Paul Vortin, all with ginger tops, and it certainly takes some picking out. But it's Oldham still in possession. Shane Cooper and Bernard Dwyer in at the tackle. Mick Bardsley there for Oldham. Flanagan attacked in half-back. Spreading it out for the kick. Chris O'Sullivan kicks deep. No problem for Les Quirk. Tanner comes in field. Quirk builds up ahead of steam. Still going crossfield, Les Quirk. Quick play the ball onto Michael O'Connor. Just penetrates the Oldham half. Stuart Evans coming from deep. Good 10-yard burst from Stuart Evans. Oldham player number 9, Andy Ruane, adjudged to have gone in with the knee on Stuart Evans. The temper's certainly getting a little frayed early on. And Paul Loughlin, hefty kick from Loughlin, finds touch 5 yards inside the Oldham 25, so Saints putting the pressure on now. Paul Groves, Tony Burke first man in. Burke drives upfield, brought down 10 yards from the Oldham line and just to the right of the posts. Groves at dummy half, takes it right to Evans. Further drive forward from Evans, just about 5 yards now from the Oldham line. Bluer, Cooper, back to Bluer. Still going, feeds it inside to Vortin. Oldham defence holding out very well. But Oldham are penalised for lying on in the tackle. Penalty for Saints right in front of the sticks. Perhaps Oldham think that 2 points is going to be better than 6. But there's no doubt about it. Saints are going to convert this penalty award into points. Paul Farber coming on as Sandman for the Saints. Paul Loughlin just about 11 yards out and just to the left of the posts. Stupid move from Oldham there, holding the man down in the tackle. Oldham still leading by 4 points to 0 at present. Paul Loughlin composing himself, no problem, bangs it right between the sticks. So after 14 minutes, Saints reduce the deficit. Oldham 4, Saints that penalty goal, making the score 4 points to 2. Still in Oldham's favour. Les Quirk from the kick-off takes the ball up to the 25. Flash Flanagan quickly in there with Ashley Gilbert into the tackle, but on to John Fieldhouse, but he's going nowhere. Fieldhouse. Oldham move up very quickly. Saints will have to spread this out to the right. Oldham moving up very quickly there. Paul Groves taking it to Stuart Evans. Solid tackling from Oldham. On to Darren Bluer now. Diagonal crossfield kick. Can it just outpace Paul round? He's coming across for the ball. Bounces awkwardly, but does keep in field. Paul round, exits, second row, brings it up, powers into Les Quirk. But Les Quirk and Michael O'Connor bring him to ground. Richard Irving goes in centre field, still going, beats 2 tackles. Tries to duck under a third, but brought down successfully with Paul Vortin and Paul Groves. Sherratt for Oldham. Feeds it inside to O'Sullivan. Oldham still in possession and making yardage. Over to Mick Bardsley. He hands it on. I think it's Colin Hawkyard, that's, yes, number 11, Colin Hawkyard. Flanagan, Oldham move it right. Mick Burke playing at standoff today. Perhaps a new lease of life for Mick Burke. It's the last tackle of this set of 6. Bounces off O'Sullivan. John Fieldhouse knocks it back. Shane Cooper tidies up. Paul Round comes in and completes the tackle. David Tanner from acting half-back position. Playing at full back today, but utility player David Tanner, signed from the Fylde Rugby Union Club last season. Fieldhouse flicks it inside. Taken by Paul Barton, takes it to the right, but comes in field. Only Mike Carrington on his right, so he had to come back in field, but was tackled by Oldham. Moving up very quickly as Evans takes it over to the right. Had a solid game last week, Evans. Put in a lot of tackles, but he couldn't penetrate the whole defence. Michael O'Connor into space, feeds inside to Shane Cooper. In turn back to Darren Blue, and he took it well. On to David Tanner. Did well there, a lot of good handling there from the Saints. Looked awkward balls from up here. Shane Cooper there. Picks it inside. Tidied up by Grove. Short ball to Fieldhouse. Shirks one tackle off. Drives upfield. But Oldham tackling, holding very firm. Saints unable to penetrate this Oldham defence. Bluer with a kick up and under. But taken by Chris O'Sullivan. The Oldham scrum half. With Oldham lying up, the chip kick over the heads, something that's got to be employed. It's Oldham now making yardage. Flanagan. Approaching the Saints 25. 17 minutes of the first half gone. The score still 4 points to 2. Well, break on here. Loughlin, Quirk going in field. Well, Loughlin gave the dummy. Perhaps he would have been better giving it Quirk on the inside. We'll never know, but Quirk was coming up at full pace. But it's Saints back in possession. Shane Cooper, overlap for Saints on the right. Cooper breaks one tackle. Inside to Bernard Dwyer. Unlucky there, Bernard Dwyer just had his ankles tapped. Shane Cooper takes up the running. Short ball to Fieldhouse. All on now. Back to Paul Loughlin. Still moving Loughlin, looking for support. But Bernard Dwyer puts it down, and Oldham come up with the ball. The Saints should have calmed it down there. Too many mistakes, centre field. Oldham quick on the break. Over to Tom Nadioli, but he knocks on. Solid tackling from Mike Carrington. He was over there very quickly. Nadioli couldn't take it. Carrington covered well as Nadioli came back. He got the ball, but he's already knocked on. So scrum's going to be formed over just over there on the far side. Just 10 yards outside the Oldham 25. It's a Saints feed. Still waiting for a clean scrum in this game. Darren Blue to feed as the scrum collapses there. Referee Simpson orders it to be reformed. Saints come up with the ball. Quickly to the left. Michael O'Connor beats one tackle, driving up towards the 25. Finally allowed to play the ball. Bluer at dummy half. On to Paul Barton, straight runner. Bernard Dwyer follows him, but solid tackling there. Flanagan and O'Sullivan in at the tackle. Darren Bluer gives the dummy, lofts the pass to Paul Loughlin. Beats one, feeds it outside to Les Quirk. Does well. Holds on to it there, Les Quirk. He really did well. That was an awkward ball, but he's tackled about 2 yards short. Stuart Evans coming through at pace. Can't release it. Oh, loses the ball right on the line. Paul Round, I think it is, comes up with the ball. Well, Evans looking for support there. He drove towards the line, stopped about 1 yard short. Looking for support to feed it inside. He had it removed from his hands, and Oldham are back in possession. Sherratt. Evans completes the tackle after John Fieldhouse takes him round the legs. Flanagan gives the dummy, feeds it in. Oh, I thought he fed it inside there. Terry Flanagan. Solid tackling from the Saints. Barton and Fieldhouse there. Oldham driving out to their own 25 now. It's the last tackle of this set of 6. The ball to Andy Ruane, kicking over to the main stand side. David Tanner takes it safely. Mike Carrington comes in field, but Tanner drives up towards the halfway. Carrington attacked in halfback. Going on his own from acting halfback. Strong lad this, still stood up in the tackle. It's a good 10-15 yard run, still going. 6'3", 15 stone, ex-Neath and Wales B winger. Bernard Dwyer there. Solid tackle from the Oldham outfit. Take Bernard Dwyer down, but it's Evans. Feeds out to Dwyer. Straightens up Bernard Dwyer. Feeds inside to Shane Cooper. You're kicked on by Darren Blewer, but Paul round there, well positioned. Les Quirk takes round down. Tony Burke comes in to complete the tackle. No messing with round, he's a straight runner. He had a few good seasons at St Helens. It was transferred to Oldham in a shock move. He's certainly enjoying his rugby here at Watershed in his Paul round. But it's Oldham in possession. Terry Flanagan, sharp ball, quick ball there, knocked down. Darren Blewer takes it up. Stuart Evans backing him up, feeds inside to Paul Vartin. Sits on the charge now, just brought down, short of the Oldham 25. Blewer onto Cooper, gives the dummy, onto Fieldhouse, driving for the line, Fieldhouse. Brought down just short, so good tackle there from Oldham. Fieldhouse again, Loughlin. Urgency there to get the ball out quickly. But Oldham forced the Saints back, and it's Paul Groves. Darren Blewer, little chip kick for Blewer, can he make it? Yes, Blewer touches down. That's the idea, as I said before. All Oldham lying up all the match, but Blewer saw the defence there. The chip kick over the heads into plenty of space. No Oldham man in sight, and Blewer kicked over and managed to touch down before the ball went dead. So Darren Blewer goes over for his second try of the season with the Saints since being transferred from Salford just a few weeks ago. Puts Saints in the lead for the first time in this match by 6 points to 4, and certainly just a formality now for Paul Loughlin. More or less in front of the sticks, but just to the right. Excuse me, Paul Loughlin now, just composing himself. Yes, no problem for Loughlin, bangs it over. So Saints take an 8 points to 4 lead, and 23 minutes of this first half gone. Saints being forced to make a substitution. Paul Farber warming up on the touchline while John Fieldhouse is receiving treatment. Looks as though he's got a dislocation of some description. So John Fieldhouse gone straight off to the dressing room to receive some attention. Oldham kick-off. Les Quirk comes up with the ball. Just tattled outside the Saints 25. Farber in at the action now. Both Farber and Haggerty were Saints substitutes for today, both Thatterheath lads, and had to drop down to the substitutes bench with the competition for places being so good now at St Helens with the introduction of a lot of new players. So Shane Cooper onto Paul Vartin. Oldham moving up very quickly. Vartin makes the break, takes it over to the right. O'Connor coming through, but Vartin couldn't slip that ball out. It's the last tackle for Saints now. Darren Blewer, crossfield kick from Blewer, superb kick. Fine touch right on the Oldham 25. Superb kick there from Darren Blewer on the 6th tackle. Oldham all up centre field, and Richard Irvine, he just couldn't get back to stop that ball going into touch. Oldham to feed. Ball comes out their side. Quick break. Flanagan. Farber in again. Tremendous tackling stint from Farber. Just come on as substitute for John Fieldhouse. I hope it's nothing serious for John Fieldhouse. He had a lot of trouble with leg injuries, but that looked like an arm. As Oldham kick Grubber for touch. A good kick there, just bisects David Tanner and Les Quirk, and finds touch 10 yards outside the Saints 25. So he can can probably hear the referee there. He wants the scrum forming on the 10-yard line. 10 yards in field from this near side touch line. Darren Blewer to feed. Stuart Evans just can't get in the pack. There he is now. Oldham there with feet across at the scrum. The ball came out Saints side, but he wants the scrum packing again. Blewer feeds. Blewer goes to the back of the scrum, picks the ball up. Saints move it right. David Tanner linking up with the backs. Loughlin from acting half-back. Has to go on his own, but the touch judge is in on the far side. For some incident, I don't know whether anything's been said to him with him coming on. There wasn't any action on the far side. So Paul Round being brought out. Obviously something we hadn't noticed up here in the commentary position, but the eagle-eyed touch judge on the far side with the red flag saw an infringement involving Paul Round. Referee Simpson speaking to him, reading him the riot act. And Saints have been awarded the penalty. Paul Loughlin kicks upfield. Finds touch just about 5 yards short of the Oldham 25, so it's Saints back on the attack. Stuart Evans coming up from that to play the ball from Paul Groves. Saints just outside the Oldham 25 now. Tony Burke takes up the running. Finally brought to ground just inside the 25. Groves loop movement now with Blewer, but Blewer takes it in field to Shane Cooper. Created the gap, Cooper, but just couldn't evade the clutches of Andy Ruane. Saints move it right. Bernard Dwyer driving upfield, running very hard. Cooper, inside ball to Evans. Crying out for support there. Just wanted another man on the shoulder. Well, it's the last tackle. We're going to have a go for drop. Darren Blewer. Lofted pass. Well, hell of a pass that off Darren Blewer. Obviously meant for Les Quirk, but it was well above Les Quirk's head. No chance. I thought he might have had a go for drop goal in centre field. Blewer. It was on the 6th tackle. Already dropped 1 goal this season, but elected to run it, swung it over to the right. I think that's Sherratt coming through there, but Farber and Loughlin in at the tackle. No, it's Mick Bardsley it was, I beg your pardon. Now it's Sherratt there, and something in at the tackle there. The referee blew up straight away. Stuart Evans and Sherratt going to be dragged out and spoken to, I feel. Oldham are awarded the penalty. It was quickly in the referee Simpson before anything untoward occurred. Well, they've definitely heard about us on the Saints video over here. They're trying to get us this Oldham side with the penalty. It was a bit short that time. Oldham fine touch, just 10 yards from the halfway line. It's Andy Ruane to start. Plays the ball, feeds it inside to Ian Sherratt. Mick Bardsley now, Paul Vortin and Tony Burke in at the tackle. Ruane attacked in half-back. Flanagan takes it left, over to number 12 there. Ashley Gilbert, but Oldham lose the ball. Michael O'Connor onto Mike Carrington. Just couldn't think of his name then. Sorry about that, Mike, but he's bundled into touch over there on the far side, just near the Oldham dugout. So it's a scrum down, 10 yards inside the Oldham half. Oldham to feed, and Oldham cope with the ball. Paul Round moving up in the back line. But Michael O'Connor comes from the far side over here, takes him down. Flanagan and O'Connor again, the ball's loose. Richard Irvine manages to drop on it, but O'Connor's in again at the tackle with Bernard Dwyer. Paul Round attacked in half-back. Short ball onto Mick Bardsley. Oldham injury-ravaged side from normal. A lot of changes in the side, but they're holding out quite well at present. There's only 9 minutes of this first half gone, and Saints are just in the lead by 8 points to 4. Oldham now. Andy Ruane kicks for touch, but Mike Carrington gets back very quickly, drives upfield and loses the ball in the tackle. A knock-on being ruled, so scrum down going to be formed. The Saints should have been in attacking position there. Oldham to feed this scrum. Well, the ball never went in the scrum. Yes, he's been penalised for feeding. So Saints back in possession now. Michael O'Connor going to kick upfield. Positional kicking. This Australian Test centre taken over, as I've said before, in the mantle of Mal Meninga, also an ex-Saint. With the ball being thrown in it, the referee, much to the crowd's delight, but Groves plays it on to Stuart Evans, drives upfield. Evans receiving some solid tackling there as Colin Harkyard goes in, second tackling. Short ball from Bluer onto Tony Burke, still stood up in the tackle. Burke manages to get the ball out to Bluer, good break from Tony Burke. Bernard Dwyer goes in field, can't release it, solid smothered tackling there from Kevin Meadows. Michael O'Connor takes it right, brought down just short of the halfway line. Bluer onto Paul Vortin. Referee Simpson lining Oldham up. Saints bringing it blindside. Paul Farber inside to Shane Cooper. He couldn't take it back from Paul Farber, and Richard Irving says thank you very much. But Ian Sherratt there, he looks surprised to receive that ball. But it's Oldham in possession. 7 minutes of the first half remaining. Flanagan taking it left. Mick Burke. Oldham taking it right across to that left side. Tom Nadioli coming back over centre field. He's a utility player. Nadioli, play anywhere. Previously played in the forwards when we played Oldham before. As you know, we didn't play him last season with them being in the second division, but they came back at the first attempt with Featherstone. But it's Oldham taking it right. The ball goes down. Nadioli adjudged to have knocked on. Quick hands there from the Oldham outfit. They moved it quickly along the line to the left, but it went down again. So it's going to be a scrum down 10 yards outside, I beg your pardon, 10 yards inside the Oldham half. It's going to be a Saints feed. Darren Bluer coming round to feed it now. Saints come up with the ball, but referee Simpson baying to the crowd, I feel, that time, as they shouted feeding for the one that Oldham just won, and Saints are penalised. Oldham fine touch on their main stand side. Just inside the Saints half. Ruane onto Sherratt. Ruane coming round again, attacking half-back. Flanagan, short ball there onto Mick Bardsley, but he flicks it up, did well there. Oldham backing up. O'Sullivan with the ball now. Flanagan and O'Sullivan making this Oldham outfit tick. Andy Ruane from dummy half flicks it up onto Flanagan. Certainly not frightened of throwing this ball about. Flanagan is there, he flicks it out to Colin Harkyard. The tackle not completed by the Saints that time, and now they're going to be forced to pay the price. Oldham take it left. Mick Burke driving for the line, flicks it left. Well, I think he's in at the corner. Yes, Oldham there, take it out very quickly. I don't know who the try scorer was. It may be John Henderson again, but Oldham have levelled the scores up. Quick hands, but as I was saying, Oldham moved it quickly to the left. Good rugby from Oldham, and as I said, the Saints there with not completing the tackle centre field. were made to pay, but Mick Burke can't convert it. So the score's all level now, 8 points each. Who'd have thought of Paul Round playing in the full-back position for Oldham, eh? Good second row, strong running forward for the Saints. As I said, transferred to Oldham, but he's up at full-back. A new challenge for him, Mick Burke at standoff. Good kick from Loughlin, yes, the ball going dead from Richard Irvine. Not much you could do about that, Richard Irvine. It just bounced on his legs. A tremendous, powerful kick from the centre spot. So Oldham forced to drop out from between their own posts. So Saints are going to receive the ball. Just about 3 minutes remaining of this first half. Got to get back on the board with another score before half-time. Tanner takes it upfield, beats one tackle, drives up to the 25. Scores on level, 8 points each, just 3 minutes remaining. Paul Groves, Farber coming in at first man. Strong running forward, this Farber. Commanded a regular place for a season or so now, but there's that much competition. But he's dropped down to the substitutes bench today. But it's Saints now, Groves, Bluer, Cooper inside to Bernard Dwyer. Runs into tremendous Oldham defence. But Saints 20 yards now from the Oldham try line. Groves takes it right. Bluer and Vartin. Vartin striding out for the line. Still going Vartin. But it's the last tackle now for Saints of this set of 6. Cooper. Lofted ball onto Dwyer. Into space. Looking for support. Can Les Quirk take it? He can, but it's still the last tackle. Les Quirk goes crossfield. Have to release this ball. Kicks it upfield. Taken by Mick Burke. So Oldham back in possession. Was on the 6th tackle. I thought Quirk could release it. He did kick it upfield. But nobody there to follow it up. Mick Burke took it comfortably. And Oldham are back in possession. Tom Nadioli. Flanagan attacked in half-back. On to Ian Sherratt. Taking it up the blind side. Paul Vartin in at the tackle. Sherratt again. Oh, solid tackling from Saints there. Tremendous tackling there. Darren Bluer and Paul Farber. Farber penalised for what's interpreted as stamping in the tackle. I don't know what sort of a signal that is, but Saints have been penalised. Nearly got us again there. Obviously words getting round about our unbiased commentaries here at the Saints video. But it's Flanagan moving upfield. Handing it away and bringing it blindside. No, turning it inside. Forward pass there onto Ian Sherratt. The referee was unsighted, but outrageous forward pass as Terry Flanagan takes it upfield. Well, I reckon they've played short there. Definitely not 40 minutes that, because we've had a spell where the referee did stop the clock, but that's not for us to decide. But the half-time score here at Watershed is all square, 8 points each. Oldham opened the scoring in the 3rd minute with a Henderson try, unconverted, so that was 4 points to 0. Then a Loughlin penalty goal in the 14th minute. In the 22nd minute, Darren Bluer chipped over the Oldham defence. Touchdown for a try, converted by Paul Loughlin. 8 points to 4 there in Saints' favour. And then there in the 35th minute, spreading it over there to the far left, Paul Round latching on to the end of it. So the half-time score at Watershed 8 points each. Back with it now at Watershed. Saints first on the pitch. Just that one substitution in the first half. In the 24th minute with Paul Farber coming on to replace John Fieldhouse. Looks as though he'd had a dislocation. And we're out in the wilds here at Oldham on the side that's... We used to have a stand at this side, but it was demolished. And it must be for safety reasons. There's nobody, only the video operators on this side. It's going very dim here at Oldham. As you know, you're right high up on the moors there, and we must apologise that if your picture is a little low or not as good as normal. It's certainly due to the outside conditions. Saints kick off. Tom Nadioli drives it up to the 25. The scores are level at half-time, 8 points each. Oldham in possession. Roy Haggerty on there at half-time. Good kick from Oldham there. Peg the Saints back there, Mike Carrington and David Tanner there. Just caught in the middle of that kick. So it's a scrum down with Saints feed, just 10 yards outside the Oldham 25. Ball comes out Saints side. Shane Cooper feeds it back. Tidied up by Paul Vortin. Awkward ball there from Shane. Saints, Tony Burke driving upfield. As Roy Haggerty comes on at half-time, replacing Paul Groves. Must have got a knock there, but Haggerty now in possession. Flicks the ball out to Shane Cooper, also on to Stuart Evans. Tries to take the tackle and to release the ball. But solid tackle there from O'Sullivan and prop forward in Sherratt. Haggerty again, pushes two off, still going. Always looking to release that ball, but finally clamped by Colin Hawkyard. With Saints moving it to the right, Shane Cooper, ball charged down. Well, obstruction surely by that Oldham man. Unless the Saints have come up with the ball, yes they have. He was in an offside position, was Hawkyard. He knew it, and he had to leave the ball alone. But it looks as though he was obstructing the Saints in their efforts to get it. But it's Tony Burke. Burke bounces off one. Looking for support, Burke. Couldn't feed in, and Bernard Dwyer came through, but Bernard Dwyer now, he'd probably take over the hooking responsibilities. Bluer, kick through. Taken by Loughlin. Bluer on his right, but it goes to Cooper. Inside to Bluer, yes, it's a run-in. Must be, oh, yes. Finally onto Bernard Dwyer. As he touches down behind the sticks. Well, good play there from Saints. So just 3 minutes into this second half. Bernard Dwyer has the final touchdown. His second try of the season for the Saints. But it was a kick through, I think, from Darren Bluer initially for Michael O'Connor. But O'Connor came to the right, the ball bounced in field. It was picked up by Paul Loughlin. Bluer again was involved in the movement. I thought Bluer was going to go over and score just to the left of the posts. But he lobbed it out to Bernard Dwyer. He went over for his second try. Touchdown successfully behind the posts. He went over for his second try of the season. Puts Saints in the lead now by 12 points to 8. And just a formality now for Paul Loughlin. Yes, Loughlin right between the sticks. So that's Paul Loughlin, his third goal of the afternoon with the 2 tries. 14 points to the Saints and 8 to Oldham. So Saints sitting back in good style there early on. Got to keep this momentum up now. Only an emphatic win will satisfy Alex Murphy today. Michael O'Connor gets the ball from the kickoff. Drives up to the 25, pushes one off, still going O'Connor. Well, some rather hefty tackling finally as the Oldham outfit were being run ragged by O'Connor. Bernard Dwyer takes it left to Paul Farber. To Loughlin for the kick upfield, hefty kick there, Paul Round has to come across to gather it, but there's no danger of it going in touch. Round comes down this touchline, feeds it inside to Tom Nadioli, but Carrington has his man. He did well there, Carrington. He had to take round. Round fed inside to Nadioli. The ball now going to the right. Hawkyard, I think that is, but he's taken down by Paul Vortin. Saints have to move up very quickly, contain this Oldham outfit in their own half for the remainder of these 6 tackles. Mick Bardsley, I think that is, being taken down. Mike Carrington comes back for the kick. Will he stop it? Yes, keeps it in field. Very well though. Well, that particular incident, Mike Carrington was adjudged to have played the ball into touch last week at Nosey Road by the touch judge there. He knocked the ball in field, similar style. Did very well keep it in the field of play, but was penalised for it. But it's Roy Haggerty there. Bernard Dwyer attacked in half-back. On to Stuart Evans. Runs back into Flanagan, with Ashley Gilbert there in assistance, and Andy Ruane completing the tackle. Shane Cooper. Saints moving it left. Farber breaks the tackle. Turns inside, but no support. Tony Burke wants a quick play the ball. Saints bringing it right. Cooper, change of direction inside to Bernard Dwyer. Well, Saints taking it up centre field. Darren Blue from acting half-back. Paul Loughlin stretches his legs up centre field, just penetrates the Oldham half. It's the last tackle now. Shane Cooper, deep kick, all round, stops it in the in-goal area. Shane Cooper follows up, completes the tackle, and it's Oldham in possession. Terry Flanagan runs into the arms of Tony Burke and Roy Haggerty. Sherritt, I think that is. Solid tackling there, Paul Vortin. Must be the 5th tackle, that surely. No, he's just lining them out. Can't be so far off. Flanagan, Mick Burke. Short ball to Kevin Meadows. Ball loose, Nadioli drops on it, but must be a knock-on, surely. Well, I don't know what the man's ruling at all. But Flanagan there, being brought down. I don't know whether he's wiped the slate clean or whatever he's done. Mick Bardsley now. Solid tackling there, Bernard Dwyer, but the ball's released. And Saints are penalised for snatching the ball out of the Oldham players' hands. Well, has it made touch? Just bounces in the field of play there, and bounces into touch. Andy Ruane. On to Ian Sherritt. Bernard Dwyer takes him down. Oldham on the attack now. 8 minutes of this second half gone. O'Sullivan. Short ball there to John Henderson, the ex-Lee utility player. Colin Hawkyard there for Oldham. Just penetrates the Saints 25. O'Sullivan. Oldham bringing it left. Flanagan on to Mick Burke. Paul round in the line. Inside ball to Ashley Gilbert. 6th tackle for Oldham now. Flanagan. Andy Ruane on to Colin Hawkyard. Saints have just got a tackle in, but Oldham keep it alive. Flanagan. Anywhere. Round again in at the back in the line. Stretching for the line. Good play from Oldham, it must be said. Certainly looked dead and buried centre field there. But Flanagan is an inspiration, keeping them going. Paul Round was linking up and nearly scored his second. But it's Saints pegged in their own 25. Bernard Dwyer taken down by Kevin Meadows and Mick Bardsley. Stuart Evans coming blindside from acting half-back, just driving forward, making yardage. Hopefully now Saints will spread it out to the left. Tony Burke, short ball to Shane Cooper. On to Paul Vortin. Stretching up centre field. Cooper's with him. Back to Michael O'Connor. Tidied up by Stuart Evans. The Saints being forced back there. It's the last tackle now for Saints. Farber. Good grubber from Farber. Knock on from Nadioli, right in front of us, just inside the Saints half. A good grubber kick from Paul Farber there on the 6th tattle. He hadn't much choice. As we get a closer view there of Paul Farber, just packing down in the 2nd row with Roy Haggerty. Bernard Dwyer in the hooking role. So Oldham with a substitution there is number 15, Casey, comes on for number 12, Ashley Gilbert. Casey right into the 2nd row. Darren Blewett to feed. Saints come up with the ball. Well, Carrington onto a short ball there. It touches down right under the sticks for his debut try with the Saints. Well, lovely short ball there onto Mike Carrington, right into space. No problem for him. Receiving the plaudits of the Saints crowd now. Carrington opens his account with the Saints, goes over for his first try since being signed from Neath Rugby Union. So just a formality now for Paul Loughlin, right in front of the sticks, just 10 yards out. Yes, no problem. Loughlin lofts it over. That's his 4th goal of the afternoon. His 24th of the season for the Saints, and he's also kicked one for a representative match for Lancashire against Yorkshire over at Headingley Leeds earlier on in the season. That puts Saints into a commanding 20 points to 8 lead. It's a lead that they mustn't surrender at any cost. Well, an awkward kick there. Bounced awkwardly right into Roy Haggerty. Couldn't do much about it there. Similar kick when Richard Irvine hit his knees and that earlier on. But a knock-on being ruled. It's a scrum down on the Saints 25. It's Chris O'Sullivan to feed. Referee wants him on the 10-yard mark infield. Well, the ball fed, and Oldham come up with the ball. Round in the back division again. Mick Burke has Oldham spread it to the right, but Les Quirk did well. Came in field, snuffed out the Oldham attack. And it's Richard Irvine attacked in half-back. Les Quirk brings him down. Andy Ruane now stepping up for Oldham at the acting half-back. Trying to go on his own, shrugs one tattle off. Gives out a bad pass, but it's tidied up by O'Sullivan. Well, adjudged to touch the Saints player there, I believe, as he wiped the tattles off. But Haggerty driving in. The ball's loose, it's been knocked on. Yes, Haggerty there, 100% effort from this international centre or 2nd row man. He's just been on tour with the Great Britain tourists. Didn't get a chance at full test level. But he's a play anywhere, good utility player. Well, Oldham had been given the feed. Surely it was the Oldham that had knocked on. Well, that's definitely a knock-on. David Tanner comes in quickly to complete the tackle on Chris O'Sullivan. And Temper's getting a little frayed at the scrum. The far side touch judge coming on. Well, both touch judges coming on now. Referee Simpson had awarded a penalty against the Saints. Surely for one of your judges is Dave Tanner coming through in an offside position. But he came through for that ball on Chris O'Sullivan. No offside decision being ruled, yes, and Saints, the penalty decision has been reversed, and Saints are awarded the penalty for an offside decision. So Paul Loughlin now, looking for touch. Lofted kick from Loughlin, finds touch on the Oldham 25. Bernard Dwyer now on the 10-yard line. Short ball to Stuart Evans, coming through at pace. Dwyer inside to Tony Burke. Solid tackling there. Substitute forward, Leo Casey. Cooper, it to Bluer. Lofted ball there to O'Connor. David Tanner linking up, still driving towards the line. Just about 10 yards from this Oldham try line now. Saints have to get another try on the board. Farber feeds it inside. Tidied up by Dwyer, I think. Saints just losing ground temporarily. Farber again, shrugs one off. Drives towards the line. Two Oldham tattlers and Andy Ruane coming in. Finally bring him to ground. Bluer on to Cooper. Still going Cooper. Six tattle signified there by the referee's raised hand. Bluer, chip kick through. Surely too deep. But Round takes it. And under this new ruling now, half. Mick Burke. Lofted ball over to the right. Oldham moved the ball very quickly. They are trailing at present by 20 points to 8. Just 16 and a half minutes of this second half gone. The ball's loose, but Colin Hawkyard tidied it up. Saints penalised. It's Shane Cooper in there. He was after the ball. It must have been loose, but whatever referee Simpson has decided, he's penalised the Saints. Oldham kick upfield. Fine touch, 10 yards from the Saints 25. Andy Ruane to start. Looks like Sherratt's coming through there at pace. But Farber and Tony Burke finally completing the tattle. So it was number 10 that time, Mick Bardsley. But it's Oldham now moving upfield. 15 yards from the Saints line now. Take it to O'Sullivan. I think that looked like Round coming on there. But the far side touch Judge is on. Looked a good strong tattle there from the Saints. I think it was Paul Round that was coming through at pace. I just couldn't make it out. But the touch Judge is on. Looks like Stuart Evans, I can't see. But Stuart Evans, and I think he's been sent off from the ground completely. I don't think he's given a card, he's just pointed to the tunnel. Anyway, only time will tell. Oldham driving forward, and they've scored. Well, temper's getting a little frayed there behind the try line, behind the Oldham try line, but Oldham, they have a try on the board. I don't know who scored it. Stuart Evans was penalised. He was sent from the field of play, whether it be for 10 minutes or for the rest of the game, I don't know. But Bardsley has been awarded the try, but from that incident, Bernard Dwyer has also been sent from the field of play. So Andy Ruane converts that Bardsley try, puts Oldham back in the hunt. 20 points to 14 the score now. Saints down to 11 men with Stuart Evans and Bernard Dwyer gone from the field of play. Whether it be sin bin or sent off completely, the referee's decision, the referee's indication, just a little unsure to us. Obviously he knows what he's done, but we don't. So Saints kick off. As I said, down to 11 men now. Two forwards off the field, so certainly the ball in Oldham's court now. Ball round there, I think it is, man. His equity card doesn't fall out of his back pocket as he takes a dive right in front of the referee. But he's told to get up, and Casey drives upfield. Flanagan, short ball there. Bardsley again. Tanner comes in, good tackle from Tanner. Cooper comes in to assist. Saints have got to close up all the gaps now as Oldham moving it very quickly over to the far right. Trying to feed it inside, he does so, onto Mick Burke. Flanagan takes the tackle onto Kevin Meadows, onto Ruane, I think that is. Saints back in numbers, haul him down just short. So Sullivan, lofted ball to Meadows, but he loses it. Nadioli comes in, picks it up, but he's brought down short as well. Unlucky there, should have scored Meadows, but the ball come through his hands. Nadioli has it, Oldham still in possession. Back to Sherratt, drives for the line, is he over? Yes, Sherratt powered his way over there in this left-hand corner. So Oldham piling the pressure on there. As I say, it's down to 11 men. He powered over to the left. Kevin Meadows very unlucky not to score. It came back to Nadioli, and then Sherratt did well. Came through and touched down just about 5 or 6 yards in from this touchline. So that brings the score up to Oldham 18, Saints 20. Difficult touchline conversion for Andy Ruane. 18 minutes of the second half remaining. Ruane here composing himself. No, doesn't get it in field enough. But the score, Oldham 18, Saints 20. And even though they was in the second division, Oldham, we played them in the semi-final of the Players' competition at Wigan last season. As I say, we won 18 points to 8. We went on to the final, beating Leeds, a fine game, 15 points to 14 in the final. But in the 86-87 season here at Oldham, when Oldham took command of the game, I think they was winning by 17 points to 6, and then 2 brilliant tries converted by, well, the tries were scored by Chris Arkwright, and Saints running out winners by 18 points to 17 that day. They're just trailing by 2 points today, Oldham. Saints down to 11 men, so they've everything, they've got it all to do, the Saints. Paul Vartan in there and tattle on Terry Flanagan. Casey now. But Oldham with the tails up now, driving upfield. Ruane, I think that is, kicking for position. The ball's going to keep in field. David Tanner does well, gets his foot to it, makes sure it keeps in field. But it's Tanner and Carrington. Tanner takes the tackle just on the 25. Ruane comes in. Tony Burke attacked in half-back. Pushes Ruane off, still going Tony Burke. Haggerty now. Shane Cooper taken down centre field. Terry Flanagan completes the tackle. Referee Simpson urging the Oldham side to get onside. And Darren Brewer, diagonal grubber kick. Will it carry to touch? No. All round, just keeps it in field. He beats Mike Carrington. Comes up for David Tanner. Tanner has him by the leg, but Paul Round flicks it out to Tom Nadioli. Oldham in possession. Kevin Meadows attacked in half-back. Well, Saints again, are they going to be done by bottom of the table opposition? Hull inflicted a 20 points to 9 defeat on the Saints at Nosey Road last week. They were bottom of the table. But Oldham now lodged in that 14th position. They're just trailing by 2 points. And Oldham in possession, flicking it up. Very unlucky there, Darren Brewer nearly had an interception. He was adjudged to have touched the ball, so the tackle count is wiped clean. Flanagan onto Bardsley, I think it is, powering his way forward. He releases the ball back to Flanagan. gives the dummy, but releases it to Casey. Saints will have to make this tackling count. One round the legs and a smother round the top. Not letting this Oldham outfit get the ball out. It's Ruane driving up to the Saints 25. O'Sullivan attacked in half-back. Going on his own. Michael O'Connor in at the tackle. Well, he's not played the ball, surely should be penalised. The man's not played the ball. Saints awarded the penalty. A bit of relief for the Saints. They're pegged virtually in their own 25. Just leading by 20 points to 18. 14 minutes of the game remaining. Paul Loughlin to kick to the main stand side for touch. Finds touch just less than 10 yards from the halfway line. Tony Burke. Well, it's every opportunity, Saints will have to back up the man with the ball, run forward. If we do manage to create a gap in the Oldham defence, there'll always have to be somebody there. O'Connor chipping over, slightly obstructed. Yes, ruled so by referee Simpson. Shouldered as the ball had gone, but it's got to be some little bit of individual brilliance by Michael O'Connor or Darren Blewer, or one of these strong running backs to kick over the Oldham's heads. So Saints are awarded the penalty. Paul Loughlin's going to have a go for goal. It's 40 yards out, just slightly to the right of the posts. Well within his capabilities, a good goal kicker in his own right, Paul Loughlin. As I said, kick 4 this afternoon so far. Certainly a pressure goal, and we certainly need all the points we can get. So Loughlin composing himself, lining up. Looks good from here. No, just to the left of the sticks, but the ball has gone dead. So Oldham forced to drop out from their own 25. Well, Saints back now to 12 men. Obviously, Stuart Evans been sent off completely. Bernard Dwyer just simbing. Bernard Dwyer back on the field of play. So Saints back to 12 men. Darren Blewer at dummy half. Oh no, there's Stuart Evans, I do beg your pardon. Both back on the field of play now. Well, I beg your pardon. It is Stuart Evans that's come back on onto the field. He was sent off just a minute before Bernard Dwyer. Bernard Dwyer was ordered off for an elbow, so it looks as though he has been sent off. Stuart Evans was just simbing. Haggerty goes for the drop goal. Takes it to the left. Always worth a chance when you're up there in the opposition's 25 area. It's Oldham restart with a tap from their own 25. Looks like Nadioli, I think, trying to break through. No, it was Richard Irvine. Both coloured wingers on this Oldham side. As the visibility is getting a little worse for wear here. The mist coming in from the moors. It's all on, surely. Oldham played the ball again. The initial charge down from Darren Blewer, I feel, are being ruled. Stuart Evans gone at the hooking spot there, has he? Yes, I think Stuart Evans was hooking there. Oldham come up with the ball. O'Sullivan on the break. Flanagan looking for the ball, but it's back to O'Sullivan now to Flanagan. Short ball there to Mick Bardsley. He's had a good game, this number 10 for Oldham. Surely must be in the running for the Oldham sponsors man of the match, as John Henderson quickly breaks away from acting half-back. Oldham now trying to press forward. Roy Haggerty completes the tackle. Kevin Meadows at dummy half. Oldham moving it left. Casey feeds a good ball inside to the wing. Short ball to Meadows. Well taken down there as Meadows was coming through at pace. Last tackle for Oldham. Well, obstruction there on the far side. Just threw it anywhere. Onto number 11 forward, Colin Hawkyard. And the changeover being ruled. Certainly relieve a little bit of pressure from the Saints there. Haggerty now coming away with it. Well, Saints penalised, and Oldham penalised, and taking another 10 yards, obviously for mouthing. So 2 penalties in quick succession. I think Roy Haggerty there still on the ground, receiving some treatment from the Oldham forwards. The score still 20 points to 18 in Saints' favour. Well, back now as Paul Loughlin kicks over to our commentary position. Finds touch just inside the Oldham half. Tony Burke plays it inside to Stuart Evans. Tony Burke attacked in half-back. Knocks on there in his efforts to get the Saints away. Very uncharacteristic handling there from Tony Burke. Well, O'Sullivan there penalised for feeding at the scrum. The penalty goes Saints' way. Seems to be brightening up just a little bit here, and it's just the floodlights that's making it look that little bit brighter. They have been on for a while, but David Tanner finds touch inside the Oldham 25. Saints have got to hammer this home now. Hopefully get a try and a goal to ensure the 2 points here at Walter Sheddings today. Vortin, acting half-back. Vortin, I beg your pardon, plays the ball onto Stuart Evans. Vortin now taking up at the acting half-back position. Left to Tony Burke. Driving forward, Tony Burke. Now Saints just about 5 or 6 yards from the Oldham line. Onto Darren Bluer. Shane Cooper sees the gap. Flicks it out to Paul Vortin. Kevin Meadows comes in very quickly. Takes Paul Vortin down. Paul Farber coming through on the burst, but not enough to take him over the Oldham line. Vortin now. Trying to give the dummy. Stood up in the tackle, feeds it to Tony Burke. Is he in? Can he touch down? Yes, Burke touches down. Tremendous try from Tony Burke. Goes in for his second try of the season for the Saints. And what a crucial try it is. Paul Vortin did the spade work there. Gave the dummy. Held the ball up beautifully. Finally fed it onto Tony Burke, but he still had to score it. And he touches down about 10 yards to the right of the sticks. That puts Saints 24 points to 18 in the lead. A six-point cushion with this conversion. So Tony Burke receiving the plaudits of the crowd. Popular figure here. Didn't play last week's defeat by Hull at Nosey Road. He was rested, but he's back in the fold today. Certainly been worth his money today. Always an awkward customer to get down. Goes over for his second try of the season, as I said, and Paul Loughlin stepping up now. Yes, bangs it right between the sticks, does Loughlin. So that gives Saints an 8-point cushion, 26 points to 18 now. Gone from the kick-off. John Henderson in the Saints 25. Chris O'Sullivan attacked in half-back. Oldham trailing by 26 points to 18 But they're on the attack now. It's Sullivan driving up. The touch judge on the far side is on for something in the tattle. Saints are penalised. Paul Farber penalised there, but Oldham take a quick tap, drive towards the line. Saints down to 12 men, but Oldham look very dangerous when they're in the Saints 25. Paul Round coming through there at pace, linking up with his back division, playing at full back today, Paul Round. Didn't play the ball. He goes over for a try, but he's adjudged not to have played the ball. Referee Simpson right on the job. Obviously a popular figure, Paul Round. He was very popular in his days at Nosey Road. But Saints are awarded the penalty. Round in his efforts to get Oldham back in the game. Tried a quick tap, but it didn't pay off. It was adjudged not to have played the ball correctly. Saints are awarded the penalty. Paul Loughlin hoists a kick upfield and finds touch 10 yards outside the Saints 25. Paul Vortin plays it to himself, drives upfield, just to the left of our position here. Just about 4 minutes remaining of this game. Stuart Evans, blindside, driving up to the halfway. Good solid drive from Saints forwards Burke and Evans. Vortin now at dummy half, takes it left to Roy Haggerty. Darren Blue, quick cans there. But the ball going now to Colin Harkyard. He puts Oldham back on the attack. Quick hands was essential there as Shane Cooper lofted the ball out, but Paul Farber couldn't take it. But Oldham are back in possession. They're trailing by 8 points. They've got it all to do. It's Paul Round looking for support. Flanagan there. Back onto O'Sullivan. Andy Ruane. Onto Casey. Solid tattle there from Farber. And Darren Blue. But it's Oldham pressing up towards the Saints 25. Mick Bardsley driving upfield. Outstanding forward in the Oldham in an Oldham shirt today. Flanagan, loop movement there. Inside ball to Hawkyard. It's the 5th tattle now. It's the last tattle of this set of 6. O'Sullivan up and under. David Tanner well under it, takes it well, but taken back in his in-goal area. He took it in the field of play, so Saints are going to be forced to drop out from under their own sticks. Tanner took a knock in that tattle, but the referee's not bothering at all about it. He's just not interested because it's out of the field of play. He doesn't consider it to be serious. Tanner is receiving, yes, he's stopped the clock now, has he? No, he's started the clock again as Paul Loughlin kicks off. Taken by O'Sullivan on the full. Oldham back on the attack. Takes it over to the right to Henderson. Going in at the corner. No, he's just put a foot into touch there. Henderson, he looked very well going in for a try, but I think it's Stuart Evans on the far side that's just knocked him into touch. He was coming through at pace there. The Saints were forced to drop out. So it's Saints to feed. Darren Bluer. Ball comes out Saints side. But Saints being penalised for feeding. Just about 30 seconds of normal time remaining in this second half. Oldham trailing by 26 points to 18. And Oldham, quick tap, play the ball. Saints tackling after a hold out there. Mick Bardsley. O'Sullivan at dummy half. On to Flanagan. Ball's down to ground. Knock-on being ruled from Flanagan in the first place. But surely that's it. It's taters now for Oldham. They can't come back here. They're trailing by 8 points. 26 points to 18. We're playing in time added on for stoppages. Darren Bluer trying to feed the scrum. It's gone against the head. Oldham come up with the ball inside to Paul Round. She puts it down. Play allowed to go on as Meadows goes in. But it's too late. Kevin Meadows. Oldham very quick on the break there. Meadows latching onto the end of it. 26 points to 22. This Andy Ruane conversion to come, but surely out of Oldham's grasp now. As soon as he's kicked this, I would imagine the final hooter will go. No, took it to the left. 26 points to 22. We played 1 minute and 15 seconds of stoppage time. There's the final hooter. As I said, I didn't think he'd have time to kick off. Certainly a tough game here at Watersheddings, even though they're at the bottom of the Stones Bitter league table. Saints just running out by 26 points to 22. Scores all level at half-time, 8 points each. Henderson and Blue a try, one each, like Henderson for Oldham, a Blue for St Helens. 2 Lachlan penalty goals, and then a Paul Round try in the dying minutes of the first half. Then in Saints hit back early on in the second half. Bernard Dwyer went over for a try converted by Lachlan. Then Mike Carrington, with his debut try for Saints, went over in the 11th minute, converted by Lachlan. 20 points to 8. Saints look in a commanding lead. Then Oldham hit back with a try by Bardsley, goal by Ruane. Then a Sherratt try. Then Tony Burke hit back with a try in the 34th minute, converted by Lachlan. Looked all over then at 26 points to 18, with Saints being down to 12 men. And then Kevin Meadows going over in the dying seconds. But Bernard Dwyer being sent off in the 19th minute in the second half, from the sent off completely. Stuart Evans receiving 10 minutes in the sin bin. So at one time Saints being down to 11 men. But Saints running out at 26 points to 22 winners. So on behalf of Saints Rugby League Football Club, Peter Tushingham photography, Brian Page, your regular cameraman, myself Ron Hoof, I bid you farewell from the Watersheddings, and the next match for the Saints is at Knowsley Road on the 6th of November versus Salford.